The drama today is about this, the reluctance, the lack of enthusiasm, the lack of eagerness on the part of our MACC to investigate this story. This big story about a group of assemblymen from a particular state receiving bribes for a project, massive project. Somehow the project could not go through, I heard. So the businessman wanted the money back. Videos were circulating on this matter. But what is interesting is that, and not interesting, but what is worrying and the most bizarre about this matter is that the story is centered on the whistleblower. That this whistleblower wanted to spill the beans, but he could not, or he would not, because he might be implicated in the scam itself, and therefore he wanted immunity from prosecution if he were to spill the bean. Unfortunately, our law is so flawed. Our Whistleblowers Act is flawed because it says that the immunity a whistleblower gets can be revoked if he was part of the scam. Well, you have to be part of the scam to know what is happening. So I think our law should be changed. I hope MPs should change this law. This one of the conditions by which the immunity can be revoked is the involvement of the whistleblower in the corrupt practice itself. This should be revoked. You should encourage people to come forward. The whistleblower may have regretted it. The whistleblower may be seeking redemption. Allow him to give evidence. Use him to prosecute all the other crooks. So MACC should come forward and say, no, we will not revoke this immunity if you tell us the story. An MP from Kapong, from DAP this morning said, yeah, he would spill the beans on behalf of the whistleblower in Parliament, because obviously he is in a better position to do that. He has immunity in Parliament. But why do we need to go through all that? Why can't MACC investigate the matter? In the first place, an investigation body like the police or MACC, customs and all that, the first information report, which is essential to commence investigation, can be done by the officer of that body. MACC officer, for example, can lodge a first information report on this scam, and that will enable MACC to commence investigation. You don't even need the Whistleblowers Act. Why don't they do it? An investigation should commence, and from there you can see what's really happening. This is how we deal with corruption. Now, you must remember that in our country, the reality is such that the main culprit for corrupt practices mainly are the politicians. I think so. I think it's the politician that caused all this problem. Of course, there are corrupt civil servants, there are corrupt businessmen, there are corrupt ordinary citizen of this country. They can be corrupt too. But the major cause of corruption in this country is politics. If MACC is not willing to go after politicians, especially if the politician is inclined to support the government, then we will never address the issue of corruption. This, what the Prime Minister called the endemic problem in the country, corruption. So this morning, in this podcast, I urge MACC not to get involved in political play or whatever it's called. If someone has done wrong, go after him or her or them. There is no need to take into account political consideration. There's no need to wait for a signal from somewhere. This is how we deal with corruption. Now, I heard from unconfirmed sources that this is a big story, a big scam, a big corruption case. So, we're going to have a lot more state elections after this, a few more. And then after that, of course, we're going to have a general election. And we all know that that's when the big money exchange hands between business tycoons and politicians. So it is important that MACC reassert itself at this stage before it gets out of hand. There is no need to look for Section 4.3, whatever section in the Whistleblower Act, that create uncertainties as to how MACC will receive information about corrupt practice from whistleblower. Give the assurance to the whistleblower that they will be protected. This is important. And like I said, you don't need a whistleblower to start with. You can investigate on your own. The first information report should come from your own officers. Just look at the case, just look at the video, just look at the statements made. You would know, as a very efficient body, you would know. You would have enough material to commence investigation.